Hi everyone, a very good evening to all of you. Please let me know whether my audio and video is clear or not. Just write down in the comment section and tell me whether everything is clear or not so that we can have the class in a smooth manner. So we were talking about so many times we just talk about the 15th Finance Commission, and accordingly with that we see that the 16th Finance Commission has been constituted, right? Under the chairmanship of Dash, that you guys are going to tell me. Okay, so we had this. We usually study the 15th Finance Commission, but the period for the 15th Finance Commission is now over, and we were waiting that the report of the 16th Finance Commission to be made public. Right, we were waiting for the report to become public, and finally we have this report which has been made public now. And that is why it becomes important for us to see all the recommendations which have been made by this finance commission, because you can get direct questions in the examination. Okay, fine. So quickly tell me everybody, this 16th finance commission, the report which has been released, we're going to talk about the highlights of the report, all the details of the report, and I want you to tell me that this was headed by whom. Hi Hemant, hi Sureka, good afternoon to all of you. Till the time you're telling me this was headed by whom, let me discuss first with you that what do you mean by a finance commission? So, what is this finance commission for? See, this finance commission is a very important commission which has been constituted. Why? For devolution of taxes. For devolution of taxes. So, what is the role of Finance Commission? That Finance Commission is going to tell you that the taxes which the central government collects, how are those taxes going to be distributed among the states? That is what is known as Finance Commission. Under Article 280 of the Constitution, Finance Commission has to be constituted. Okay? So it has to be constituted under Article 280 of the Constitution, right? And this committee, it provides recommendations as to how the taxes should be devoluted amongst the states. There are two things that Finance Commission discusses. One is your vertical devolution of taxes and horizontal devolution of taxes. What do you mean by vertical and horizontal devolution? See, when the central government is earning 100 rupees from taxes which has to be distributed among the states. Out of these 100 rupees, we have total number of states here. Out of these 100 rupees, how much should be provided to the states and how much should the center keep with itself? Say 40 rupees it is going to give to the states, and rest 60 rupees it is going to keep with itself. But but this 40 rupees also has to be distributed amongst different states, because we just don't have one state, we have many different states and UTs, and this 40 rupees has to be distributed among different states. So when I say that out of these 100 rupees, 40 rupees are going to the states, this is known as vertical devolution. And when this money, 40 rupees, is going to be distributed amongst the different states and UTs, this is known as horizontal devolution of taxes. Right, Hemant? Vertical state and center, horizontal among different states. Absolutely correct. Fine. And yes, the 16th Finance Commission, who headed the 16th Finance Commission, Dr. Arvind Panagriya ji. Okay? So Dr. Arvind Panagriya had, was a chairman of the 16th Finance Commission. They have formulated a report and they had submitted to the Parliament a few months ago. Finally, the report is made public. And we are going to see what is there in the report, because it is important from your exam point of view. This 16th Finance Commission is going to replace the 15th Finance Commission, which was headed by N.K. Singh. Okay, everyone. So this was the basics of your Finance Commission. What Finance Commission is, what is the major role and function of the Finance Commission. Currently, we have been we have received the 16th Finance Commission report that we're going to discuss. And before I continue with the details of the 16th Finance Commission, if you want to download this YouTube class PDF, you can do it from the Olive Board app. Just go to the courses section. There's going to be a separate YouTube class PDFs folder. If you have an iOS device and you want the PDF, I will share it with you on Telegram. Just type Mannat Educator on Telegram. The name of my group is Economics with Mannat, and I will share the PDF of today's session in the Telegram group. Okay? Acha, so you're good in concepts but factual information. Yes, so for that you have to start writing and start remembering, revising, and learning. Write and learn. That is going to really benefit you, Hemant. Fine. So, Finance Commission is a constitutional body. See, one, we have a constitutional body. There are certain terms that you might have seen in when you whenever you discuss any kind of body. Constitutional body, statutory body, है ना? You might have seen non-constitutional body word. Non-constitutional body. Acha, you might have heard extra constitutional body also. है ना? Extra constitutional body. Or non or unconstitutional body. Can anybody tell me what is the difference between all of these? What is the difference between constitutional body, statutory body, non-constitutional body, extra constitutional body, and unconstitutional body? This is important because so many times on a daily basis when you read about the different commissions and all, have you ever thought ki acha, if somewhere it is written constitutional body or somewhere it is written statutory body, what is the actual meaning behind this? Have you ever guys thought like that? If you start thinking like this, I am 100% sure that your concepts are going to be very very clear. Okay, so if you know, write down in the comment section, otherwise I'm going to discuss it with you. Till then we'll just discuss this basic introduction of the 16th Finance Commission. So, this Finance Commission is a constitutional body which is mentioned in Article 280 of the Constitution. Who constitutes this Finance Commission? President constitutes after every 5 years. So, within a framework of 5 years, you have a new commission. Okay, a new Finance Commission. And what does it do? It makes recommendations related to the center state fiscal relations, related to finance. Recommendations are provided. So there's a chairman and four other members who are appointed by the president. So we have what? One chairman, and along with the chairman, we have four other members. Who appoints these members? The president. Okay. The 16th Finance Commission, who was the chair? Dr. Arvind Panagriya ji. This was tabled in the Parliament on 1st Feb 2026 for the 5-year period between 2026-27 to 2030-31. So, from 2026 till 2031, we have this 16th Finance Commission. The time frame you have to obviously know. Constitutional, created by Constitution, statutory by law, Constitution under the Constitution of India, statutory passed by law, and others तो word meaning ही है. Okay, चलो, see, constitutional body means that when the original constitution was being made, when the original constitution, the first draft or the first time, देखो, there are additions also done in the constitution, है ना? There are additions also done later. But if there is an original, if in the original constitution it had been mentioned that this body has to be constituted, that is known as a constitutional body, which is made which was made when the new constitution was made, when the original constitution was made. That is known as constitutional body. Statutory body means which has been made by an act of parliament, which means that initially when the constitution was formed, this body was not there, but parliament passed a law properly. Just Lok Sabha mein there was a bill passed, then there was a bill passed in the Rajya Sabha, then together it was signed by the president, and finally the act was released, and under that act it has been written that a body has to be constituted. That is known as statutory body. Okay? A non-constitutional body or an extra constitutional body, these both are same. Non and extra constitutional body meaning is same. This means that these are not mentioned in the original constitution. They are not mentioned in the original constitution. Later on, they must have been added. That is extra constitutional or non-constitutional body, which is not mentioned in the original constitution. Unconstitutional means which is illegal, which is going against the provisions of the constitution, which is going against the principles of the constitution. ठीक है? When a body goes against the principles of the constitution, that is known as unconstitutional body. Acha, you might have also seen that a word is sometimes mentioned that this body has been formed by passing an executive order. है ना? You might have heard this also, that this body has been executive order means that this was not mentioned in the constitution, or no act has also been made, law has also not been passed. No, it's just that the president has passed an order, and after that this body is there now. है ना? And this is also known as an extra constitutional. When you say extra constitutional, then you also mean that the president has passed the order sometimes. है ना? Sometimes when the president has passed the order, that can also be considered as an extra constitutional. Order of the government. I think original or amended constitution doesn't matter. It just need to be a part of the. Yes, but for being a part of the constitution also, see, if you want to do amendment to the constitution, na, there is a separate framework. Heyman, there is a separate framework. I'm forgetting, Article 368, I think, है ना? As far as I remember, Article 368 of the Constitution says that amendment to the Constitution can be done. So that also has to be done through the parliament only. If you have to amend the constitution, if you have to make in new changes in the constitution, for that also parliament has to pass the law first. Through the parliament only that is going to be done. Okay, Hemant? Hemant, is that clear? So under another article has been mentioned in the constitution that if amendment has to be done, it has to be done by passing through the parliament only. So that machinery is parliament. That is why we say that original constitution. Okay? Okay, Hemant. Is that clear? Fine. So this was just some extra gyan that I've given you. Fine. I hope this is clear. Chalo, now let's talk about the recommendations of the commission. First of all, like I told you, that there are two things that the finance commission recommends related to your horizontal devolution, related to your vertical devolution, and there's another thing related to your grants in aid also. How much grants in aid have to be provided to the states and all, right? So vertical devolution from center to the state, how much amount of money, and between the states, how to divide that money, that is horizontal. So first of all, if I talk about the vertical devolution, if I talk about the vertical devolution of taxes, what is the share? Out of 100%, 41% will go to the states. See, what was the scenario? In the 14th Finance Commission, it was basically 42% that had to be distributed to the states. In the 15th Finance Commission, this was reduced to 41% because they said कि 1% we need extra for newly formed Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh UT. So we need some extra 1% the center needs for governing these areas. So this was reduced to 41%, 1% kept for JNK and Ladakh. ठीक है? Then now again in the 16th Finance Commission, they are saying that we are going to keep this to 41% only. ठीक है? So this is retained, same as 15th Finance Commission. Acha, there's a very important thing that has been mentioned over here. See, in the news and all, you might have seen that the states, they were demanding that cess and surcharge that the central government collects should also be distributed amongst the states, right? So basically, to explain it to all of you, the taxes which are collected by the center include indirect taxes, है ना? Indirect taxes में GST में से which part? Integrated GST, है ना? Because UTGST, UT government is collecting, SGST, state government is collecting, CGST, central government is collecting, which cannot be distributed amongst the states, है ना? Apart from that, there is integrated GST, which is collected by the center when there is an interstate transaction. I hope you know this, all of you. तो GST में there is this, let me change the color of the pen so that it's different. So GST में one we have SGST, which the states charge from the people for intra-state transactions, within the state transactions. For the same intra-state transactions on the same base, central government also charges GST, है ना? Then we have UT GST. This is the UT administration for intra UT transactions, intra UT transactions. And if there is interstate or inter UT transactions, in that case we have integrated GST. Now this integrated GST is collected by the center but it is distributed to the states or UTs. ठीक है? One thing. So this is the indirect taxes which are collected by the center, which has to be distributed among the states. Secondly, we have the direct taxes which are completely collected by the center and they have to be distributed to the states. Second thing, apart from that, center also collects cess and surcharge. What is the meaning of cess and surcharge? How is cess and surcharge different? Can anybody tell me how are cess and surcharge different? Cess and surcharge goes against spirit of federalism. Yes, you're right, Hemant. See, cess and surcharge is a tax on tax. That means whatever original tax you are already putting, above that you put an extra tax. Like 1-2%. You put that extra tax. Usually this is done on luxury goods or sin goods. Usually on luxury and sin goods, 1-2% extra you charge on the regular tax which you already have. Cess is for a specific purpose. The government tells you that if this education cess, then the money from this extra part is going for education purposes. Health cess for health purpose. Cow cess for stray cows, protecting there. Surcharge with the government is collecting extra money or charging an extra tax on tax, but it is not telling the people where that money is going. That will go for national security and all only, but government is not specifying. That is surcharge. Okay? So now whatever cess and surcharge that the central government collects now, that is not distributed. This is not distributed with the states, and that is why states say ki this is to galat, this is to wrong. You should also share this money with us. So we were thinking that in the 16th Finance Commission, maybe there is some provision or some recommendation related to that. But again, over here also, in the 16th Finance Commission also, cess and surcharges are excluded for division, excluded from the divisible pool which has to be divided with the states. It will not be distributed amongst the states. I hope this thing is also clear to everybody. Fine. Now comes the criteria for devolution. So we have seen the vertical devolution, we have seen. Now if I have to talk about the horizontal devolution, there must be some criteria based on this key, how much the money has to be divided amongst the states. This 41%, how will this be divided amongst the states? There must be some criteria for that, है ना? So what is that criteria? This is the criteria: income distance, population, demographic performance, area, forest, है ना? Sixth, this tax and fiscal efforts, this was there previously. This we can consider both of these as 6. This has been replaced by contribution to GDP. Let's discuss one by one what these mean. What you have to remember from here is income distance. The previous weightage was given as 45%. Now it's 42.5%. So they have reduced it. Population, as far as 2011 census is concerned, we have increased it to 17.5% the weightage. Demographic performance, area and forest, they have been kept at 10%. Pere demographic performance was 12.5%. It has been reduced to 10%. Area from 15 to 10%. Forest from 10%. It is same. Last time we had tax and fiscal efforts. Now we have contribution to GDP also. We have removed this tax and fiscal efforts for a component and we've added a new component which is contribution to GDP 10%, and that is how That is how this 40% out of the 100%, this 40% in itself is 100% total for the states na. So how this is going to be divided, that we have seen over here. You have to remember the previous also, and you have to remember the current also, because in your statement based questions they can write down that the share of income distance has been reduced from 45% in the 15th finance commission to 42.5% in the 16th finance commission. So accordingly, you have to know the previous also and the new as well. Let's discuss that what do these criteria mean one by one. So what is the meaning of per capita GSDP distance, or you can say income distance? What is this? Income distance, which is also known as per capita GSDP distance. What is GSDP? Gross state domestic product. Gross domestic product, GDP, gross domestic product is like your national income for the entire country, है ना? वैसे for one particular state there is GSDP. ठीक है? So what is it? Income distance. In simple language, if I tell you, say this is India. This is India. We have many states in India. We have many states in India. Let's take up Kerala. GDP of the state. GDP of the state is your GSDP. ठीक है? So there are many states in the country. Say let me take Kerala. Say Kerala's GDP is the maximum. GSDP Kerala's is maximum. Say rupees 1000 crore. For example, a hypothetical example that Kerala's GSDP is 1000 and Kerala has the maximum GSDP, for example. Then we have other states. For example, I have to decide कि UP को how much money should be given based on income distance criteria. So we saw that UP's GSDP is 500 rupees. Okay? So how much is the deficit? What is the income distance? 500 rupees crore. 500 crore is the difference. And how much weightage was related to this? How much weightage was related to this income distance? 42.5%. This is how the share of UP is going to be decided. 500 into 42.5%. The weightage into how much is the income distance between UP and the maximum state with the highest GSDP. Similarly, if I have to calculate the share of say Himachal Pradesh based on the income distance criteria, I'll say that Himachal Pradesh GSDP is say 400 rupees. What is the income distance gap? 600. To 600 into 42.5%. Based on that much amount of money Himachal Pradesh will get. That is income distance. Difference between per capita GSDP of a state and the average of per capita GSDP of the top 3 large states with the highest per capita GSDP. So, pehle in the 15th Finance Commission, this was the scenario, income distance. This was the scenario. We were selecting the one state. Now in 16th Finance Commission, what have we done? What is the new criteria under this 16th? What have we done in the 16th Finance Commission? What we are going to do? We are going to take the top 3 states. For example, we have Kerala, we have Tamil Nadu, say we have Mumbai, Maharashtra. Suppose these 3 are the top states which have the maximum GSDP. Top states, GSDP, maximum. These top 3 states. Kerala, like I said, 1000 crore. Tamil Nadu, say 1200 crore. Say Maharashtra, 900 crore. We are going to add all of these, say 800 crore. Okay? We are going to add all of these. 3000 crore divided by 3, 1000 crore. है ना? Again, the same thing. So this is the average of the top 3. Now here I was only taking Kerala as one state over here, but here we are going to take the top 3 states in the 16th Finance Commission criteria, and we are going to see the distance, the income distance between the top 3 and your particular state GSDP. Based on that income distance criteria के accordingly you will get you will get your share. ठीक है? And how do we calculate this per capita GSDP of the previous 2018-19 to 2023-24 based on that? We are excluding the pandemic year and we are going to take these these years. Okay? If who is going to get the higher share? The state with a lower per capita GSDP will get a higher share. ठीक है, will get a higher share. If your GSDP is less, you will get a higher share from the government taxes. ठीक है. Then comes population criteria. So as far as 2011 census, whatever population was collected through the 2011 census criteria, based on that, people will get their share. So based on the population, higher the population, higher you will get the share. Then comes demographic performance. All those who have reduced the total fertility rate. Basically, in the 15th Finance Commission, what was the scenario? All those states who reduced the total fertility rate in their countries, है ना? All those who reduce the total fertility rate in their countries, they will get a higher share. And a higher share. Now, in the 16th Finance Commission, they have redefined what they are saying. We are going to check the population growth between 1971 and 2011. We are not going to see total fertility rate, cancel that. We are going to see the population growth between 1971 and 2011. ठीक है. Whichever state has lower population growth, that state will get higher share. So are you seeing this dilemma over here? This different over here. According to the population criteria, higher the population, higher the money you get, because higher population needs more money. Demographic performance, because the government wants that we have to control the total fertility rate, we have to control the fertility rate, we have to control because we cannot have so much of population also. We have to control the growth rate of population. So all those who have done good in controlling the growth rate of population, they will get a higher share from the taxes. This is your demographic performance. ठीक है. Then we have the forest criteria. So 16th Finance Commission has assigned weightage to both share of state in overall forest area and share in the increase in overall forest area between 2015 and 2023. So all those who have increased the forest share area, they will get higher money. ठीक है. And now they have added open forests also. In the definition of forest, they have added open forests also. All of you, this is your homework. You are going to check out that what is the meaning of open forests. Meaning of open forests. Because what has the government done? What this finance commission done? They have added this also in the ambit of forest area. So higher the forest cover that you are going to show, higher is going to be the devolution that you are going to get. Higher is the share that you will get. ठीक है. पहले in the 15th Finance Commission, they only considered dense and moderately dense forests. But now we have open forests also, which are added in the forest definition. ठीक है. अच्छा, पहले we had tax and fiscal efforts parameter, but now this has been removed. And now we have the new parameter, which is contribution to GDP. So the 16th Finance Commission has introduced this contribution to national GDP. How do you calculate this? We are going to calculate the square root of GSDP. Say we are talking about Kerala over here. GSDP of Kerala divided by square root of GSDP of all states. For example, GSDP of Kerala plus GSDP of Tamil Nadu plus GSDP of Himachal Pradesh plus GSDP of Uttar Pradesh, etc. etc. So under root of GSDP of Kerala upon under root of GSDP of all states. You're going to add sum of GSDP of all states. ऐसे करके we are going to find out. ठीक है? And we have to find out whatever value we will get. इससे what we are going to get is we are going to understand the Kerala's share out of all the share of everybody's GSDP. So we get Kerala's share, and based on that you will get your you will get the share in the taxes. ठीक है? So higher the contribution to GDP, higher will be your share in the taxes. Okay? And what GSDP we are going to take? We are going to consider nominal GSDP. Nominal means not adjusted for inflation. Nominal may say if I minus inflation, I get real, है ना? So, but I'm going to consider nominal GSDP in this case. Average nominal GSDP between 2018-19 to 23-24, and I'm going to exclude the pandemic year. Okay, so that is how I'm going to calculate contribution to GDP. Okay, so I hope this is clear. What is the meaning of All of these: income, distance, population, demographic, performance, area, forest, tax and fiscal efforts, and contribution to GDP. I hope the meaning is clear. This was the first part, which is horizontal devolution of taxes or share of states in central taxes. This is the first part. I hope this is clear. The second thing, so first was basically vertical devolution that we have seen 41%. Second was your horizontal devolution that we have seen based on a set criteria. Third, here we are seeing grants in aid. So how much grants in aid have been recommended by the 16th Finance Commission? 9.47 lakh crore over the next 5 years. Please remember, learn this: how much? 9.47 lakh crore over the next 5 years. Okay? And these grants are for the urban and rural local bodies also, and for disaster management also. And what has been discontinued in the previous 15th Finance Commission, there were revenue deficit grants which were provided by the center, sector specific grants and state specific grants. We have cancelled this. We have discontinued this. Now we are talking about the grants which are 9.47 lakh crore. I hope this is clear to everybody. ठीक है? So how much grants to the local government? 7,91,493 grants. This is in crores. For rural local bodies, 4,35,236 crores. For urban local bodies, 3,56,257 crores. For disaster management, 1,55,916. Total 9,47,409 crores, 9.47 lakh crore. ठीक है? So उसमें से 9.47 lakh is the total. 9.47 lakh total. Out of that, 7.9 lakh for local governments, 4.35 lakh for rural local bodies, 3.5 for urban local bodies, and 1.5 for disaster management. You have to remember this directly. It can be asked. Please learn it and remember it, all of you. Okay, it is very important. Fine. Then if I talk about grants for local bodies, so 16th Finance Commission recommended 4.4 lakh crore and 3.6 lakh crore for rural and urban local bodies. So for rural local bodies, 4.4 lakh crore and 3.6 lakh crore for the urban local bodies. And we are going to divide these grants into two parts: basic grants and performance based grants. Basic and performance based. So basic is 80%, performance is 20%. Basic is 80%, performance is 20%. Okay? So if I talk about the basic ones, that is basic. Basic one is also divided into two parts. Let's wait for that and we are going to see the difference here. ठीक है? तो एक तो हो गया ये basic. 80% grants will be based on basic grants and 20% performance based. ठीक है? And special infrastructure grants and urbanization premium grants will also be provided to the urban local bodies based on criteria. What is that criteria? That they have to constitute local bodies as and when required. They have to have local bodies. They have to publish provisional and audited accounts of the local bodies, and state finance commission has also state finance commission should also be constituted in a timely manner. Okay? Now out of these basic grants, now सबसे पहले we have the basic grants, which is basic, which is not based on performance. Okay? You have to give these grants. It is not based on how you are performing. You might be performing good, you might not be performing good, but that doesn't matter. So out of these basic grants now, basic grants are total 80% of the grants are basic. अब इस 80% में से 50% are tied grants and 50% are untied grants. Tied grants means that there is a condition attached that you will get this money provided you put this money in this particular scheme. So there is a condition that the government puts in. Untied grants, we are just giving you money. It's up to you where you want to utilize that money. Okay? So this 50% which is tied, it depends on the sanitation and solid waste management or water management based on that. If I talk about the performance grants, they are divided into state performance grants and local body performance grants. Okay? How you are performing. The rest of the 20% grants out of the 100%. 80% for basic grants, 20% for performance based grants. Okay? Fine. And state performance grants will be given to you if you are performing well. Minimum benchmark is there. If if you meet the minimum benchmark for transfer to local bodies, that you're transferring the money to local bodies, we will give you state performance grants. Local body performance, if you have it is linked to the achievement of minimum grants specified by the commission, whatever minimum grants have been specified. ठीक है? For special there are some special infrastructure grants also, which is for if you are bringing in wastewater management system in cities where population is 10 to 40 lakh as per 2011 census. You have to deploy wastewater management system, and grants worth 56,100 crore have been recommended over the 5 years for special infrastructure grants. How much? 56,100 crore. Okay. Then urbanization premium grant, these will be released to states as a one time grant. So urbanization premium grant is one time grant. One time grant. For what? If you are merging the peri-urban villages into adjoining urban local body. Peri-urban matlab this is the major urban area and we have the outskirts wala part. If you merge that into the local body areas definition, then. Or if you are formulation of a rural to urban transition policy, if you are formulating that policy, then we are going to give you urbanization premium grant. How much has been allocated? 10,000 crore. Learn this also. You have to learn the outlays and all. You can get directly in the exam question. Okay? Apart from that, disaster management corpus of 2 lakh 4,401 crore for the SDRF. State Disaster Relief and Management Fund for disaster management purpose. Okay? What is the cost sharing pattern? It is 90:10 for the northeastern region and the Himalayan states like Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand and all, and it is 75:25 for the other states. What is this division? Matlab ki 90% central government is going to contribute, 10% state government, 75% central government, 25% state government. Center's share in total will be 1,55,916 crore. This is center's share in total. ठीक है? Fine. Then we have fiscal roadmap. Okay, for the fiscal roadmap, what we have decided that we should bring down fiscal deficit to 3.5% of GDP by 2031. So, what is the long term target till 2030-31? That we have to reduce fiscal deficit to 3.5% of GDP, and for states, annual fiscal deficit limit should be 3.53% for GSDP. Currently, what is the scenario for the center? Fiscal deficit for the previous year 25-26, for financial 25-26, according to revised estimates, was 4.4%. We reduced it to 4.4%. And for next year, for 2026-27, the budgeted estimates are that we have to reduce it to 4.3%. So agle saal ke liye it's 4.3%, but it has been written that by the year 2030-31 we should reduce it to how much? 3.5% of GDP. Everyone, please remember the current scenario which I have written over here, and also remember what this commission has recommended. Okay? Plus they have talked about discontinuing off budget borrowings for the states. Does anyone have any idea what is the meaning of off budget borrowing? Off budget borrowings. What is the meaning of off budget borrowings? Anybody? देखो ऑफ बजट बोरिंग्स क्या होता है ना, what do states do? What do usually states do, or even the government, what they can do is there is so that the government में borrowings are not shown that much, है ना? So that to show that fiscal deficit is less, what does the government do? Government directly does not borrow. It tells the public sector enterprise, public sector undertaking, or any other public sector enterprise कि यार you take loan, we are going to repay the loan, but you take loan. Okay, so it's like it is not going to be shown in the government's fiscal deficit but the liability remains with the government. The liability remains with the government, but it is not shown in the accounts. That is known as off budget borrowing. For example, if you want to provide food subsidy, to the people, you tell Food Corporation of India ki yaar, what you do is you take the loan. Don't worry, the repayment I will do repayment, but you take loan. So the loan will be shown in Corporation of India's accounts, not in government's account. Okay, it will be shown in FCI's account and not in government's account. But so liability is of the government only, but it is not being shown in the paper, so it is not giving us the true picture of fiscal deficit. That is why they have recommended in this the 16th Finance Commission that we have to discontinue the practice of off budget borrowings for the states. ठीक है? Fine. And the commission has projected combined debt of center and state to decline from 77.3% in 2026-27 to 73.1% of GDP in 2030-31. Up now 15th Finance Commission had said, 15th Finance Commission, that the combined debt to GDP ratio of the states and the center should be 60%. 40% share of the center, 20% share of the states. But now here, since it is very high, so we are saying that from 26-27 we have to reduce it from 77.3% to 73.1% by 2030-31. Please learn this as well. Okay, fine. So this is related to your fiscal consolidation. For power sector reforms also, recommendations have been brought up that we should focus on privatizing the distribution companies. What are discoms? Distribution companies. What are distribution companies now? Who distribute electricity. For example, through solar energy, we have produced electricity. We have produced electricity through solar energy. है ना? And then what we are going to do is, in bulk we have produced, what I do is I sell it to the distribution companies, and then they are going to distribute it to the industries or distribute to the residential areas and all. That is the role of discoms. Discoms are facing huge amount of debt because of losses. Okay, because of losses on people do not pay their electricity bills and a lot of issues are there. Okay, so they are saying that privatize the discoms for their better performance. And for their debt, a special purpose vehicle should also be created. A special purpose ki how we can reduce their debt of the discoms. Okay? And repayment of this debt may be allowed using funds from special assistance scheme for capital investment. So we have this fund, a special assistance scheme for capital investment. From this fund, repayment can be done. Okay? It also recommended that states should be allowed to utilize this assistance only after privatization process is complete. So once discoms are privatized, only then we are going to resolve their debt issues. So that was related to your discoms. The fifth major highlight is subsidy expenditure. So what is the commission recommended? We have to review and rationalize subsidy expenditure. कि बहुत ज़्यादा do not give a lot of subsidies because that is a burden on the exchequer. So unconditional cash transfers, usually unconditional cash transfers means when you are providing cash without any condition. So in that case the underutilization, proper utilization of the funds is not happening, and that is why it is recommended that we should have clear exclusion criteria. If we are providing cash to someone, cash to a particular scheme and all, there should be a proper criteria. Plus discontinue off budget borrowings, subsidies through off budget borrowings. Matlab, when you provide subsidies by off budget borrowings, for example, you've told Food Corporation of India to take up the loan and then providing subsidies from that loan. No, please don't do that. That is unsustainable. Okay? And there should be a uniform approach for accounting and disclosure of subsidies and transfers. Okay? There should be a uniform approach for accounting and disclosure of subsidies and transfers. Proper approach should be followed. Okay? Apart from that, we have public sector enterprise reforms that we should review and close. The commission recommended a review and closure of 308 inactive state public sector enterprises. If there are state public sector enterprises or undertakings, if they are not working, if they are inactive, then please it's better to close them down. And there should be a proper disinvestment policy to achieve this target. State level public sector enterprises, they should have a proper disinvestment policy. Okay? And cabinet may decide closure, privatization, continuation, it depends. Okay, so but identify the public sector enterprises, these state public sector enterprises. If they're not working, if they're inactive, then either close them, recapitalize them, privatize them, continue them with some changes. That is up to you. Fine. So this is all related to your 15th sorry 16th finance commission recommendations. All right, everyone. So, if you guys want to join the RBI Grade B 2026 batch complete course, then you can join. You will get classes, books, current affairs, everything. In this manner only, we are going to study all the topics in your paid batches as well. So, if you want, you can enroll now. And if you have any doubt, please write down in the comment section and tell me if there's any doubt, or if it is clear, just let me know in the comment section. Okay? If you guys have any doubt later on, you can connect with me on Telegram. Mannat Educator is my Telegram handle. Okay? So if you want, you can connect with me there. All right. So is it clear, everyone? Just give me a thumbs up. Just let me know in the comment section, and then we'll end the session here. T. Hemant T. It's T. Okay. Sure, no problem, Prakash. No problem. You guys can watch it later on. All those who have not seen it. Okay. What about the freshers? Priya, what are you trying to ask? What about freshers? You can watch this also for freshers also. I've explained it from the base. I've explained it one by one. So you won't have any problem. You can see it. You can watch this video. Okay, Priya? So guys, you have to know the recent recommendations because you can directly get it from the exam. You can directly get it in the exam. So basically we have seen the major things. For firstly we discussed what is finance commission. We saw the difference between constitutional body and all, some basics, है ना? Then share of states in central taxes. We have seen vertical and horizontal devolution. We have seen everything in detail. Grants in aid. Then fiscal roadmap, power sector reform, subsidy expenditure, and public sector enterprise reforms. ठीक है? So please revise it, download the PDF. I will share the PDF on Telegram as well. You can connect with me there. And that is all from my side. Wish everyone all the best. Keep studying, and I will see you all in my next one. Okay? Bye everyone.